This is how Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert sees himself.
Hardworking, loyal, try to be humble.
This is how his coaches see him.
Dedicated, handsome,
smart, competitive,
relentless, detailed, passionate, more vocally inclined. There's an adverbish type prepositional phrase there, is that correct?
So who is Justin Herbert? Even he didn't know when he first arrived on campus.
My expectations were really just learn the playbook, do what the coaches ask of me, and maybe play my junior, senior year.
But as a freshman, he took over the offense halfway through the 2016 season, throwing 19 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. Underneath the helmet, the Frosh looked like this. But 2 years later, Herbert's become more Brad Pitt from Thelma and Louise. He's gained 35 pounds of muscle and has quite the hair, which got plenty of attention during this year's Pac-12 Media Day.
We're in Hollywood. Here's this big old, 6'6" stud, man. He's all muscled up now, and now he's got his hair flowing like Fabio, man, back in the day. And I'm thinking, well, is some modeling agent gonna come out here and snag this guy?
There's brains under that flow too. Majoring in biology, Herbert's an academic All-American and quite the wordsmith.
we play hangman games, but then you end up with, he picks words with 3 Z's in it.
I've used Zephyr. I think it's a gust of wind, I'm not sure.
Yep, it is. And the stadium Herbert now calls home is less than 2 miles from where he grew up in Eugene.
What do you think being out here?
Think about those 4 seats up there in Section 12, all the games. Just came here with my family and got to cherish all of the great games that Oregon football had to offer.
Herbert's been a lifelong Ducks fan. His grandfather was a season ticket holder and played wide receiver at Oregon in the 1960s. But for Justin, despite starring at nearby Sheldon High School, he was barely an afterthought for Power 5 programs.
I just remember thinking, why in the world is nobody going after him? He got an offer early on from Northern Arizona, and then he got an offer from Nevada.
Oregon came by and kind of started talking to me, and they offered me a scholarship. And until then, I kind of planned on playing football with my older brother at Montana State.
It's almost too perfect that Justin ended up at Oregon. Last season, the team's success appeared to hinge on Herbert's health. The Ducks were 1-4 when he was out with a broken collarbone, but 6-2 when he started.
Touchdown, Justin Herbert.
He's as good or better than anyone I've been around. Mobility, escapability. That ball comes out of his hands quickly. He's insanely accurate, and he's a competitor.
And that right arm of his can do wonders.
During practice scramble drill, I was down the field like 80 yards, just chopped it, and it was in the clouds. I couldn't even see it. I was like, I caught it though, a touchdown.
Off the field, this summer, in a true act of humility, Herbert took a week-long service trip with other student athletes to Africa.
We went to Uganda and built a basketball court for the community over there, and it was humbling for sure, because we'd have meals, and it was really tough to see that there are a lot of them that were struggling for food.
We're doing an interview, and these seats are Ferrari leather. Well, there wasn't any Ferrari leather seats out there in Uganda, when they were sleeping in tents, and it was an eye-opener.
Back in Eugene, everybody's All-American has found a new appreciation for where he is now.
I still got to pinch myself, because just a couple years ago I was in the stands watching, just thankful and glad to be practicing out on that field, and thankful for all the memories I've made with the teammates.